If you just joined us, then you are definitely watching the Power Breakfast Show. My name is Wahiga Mwaura. Now, last year was a fantastic year in the world of athletics for Kenyans, as we walked away with many medals and many records. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, what sort of year is 2011 going to be for Kenyans in the world of athletics? To help me answer some of these questions, I'm joined in studio today by Mr. David Okeyo, the Secretary General of Athletics Kenya. Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. What are your predictions for Kenyans in athletics this year? Should be my first question.
Of course, my prediction is that we are just going to perform well again, as we did last year.
Do you expect
and I don't want to say that we cannot perform well, it cannot work out. But we are going to try our level best to, in fact, even to improve more on what we did last year.
Do you have any ideas of any maybe possible athletes who are gunning for records? I don't know if you've been...
Kenya is a great country if we are talking about the athletes, because every day at least you'll find a good athlete emerging. So every athlete in this country can always bring a medal to this country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the matters at hand. Now, next weekend is selections for the Africa and World Cross Country Championships. The question everyone is asking is, how will these events, how will this particular trial at Uhuru Gardens be conducted, and how many people are you actually looking for?
Actually, the cross country itself, the national cross country, will be on the 19th, not next weekend.
Okay.
Just to correct that one, but we expect quite a number of athletes to come, because all the athletes that are coming for these trials or the championships are drawn from various provinces, and there is going to be an inter-provincial competition. I don't want to talk about countries at the moment because that's where we are. Okay. But we expect good athletes that will be drawn up from various areas in the country to come and compete. And at the same time, we shall be selecting our athletes that will represent Kenya at the World Cross Country Championships that will be held in Punta Umbria in Spain on the 20th of March, and at the same time we'll select also the athletes that will represent the country in
South Africa.
In South Africa, Cape Town. So it's going to be a very busy day for us that day, and as usual we are used to it. I know we are going to select the good athletes.
How are you selecting them? Is it in terms of a qualification time, or the top certain number?
No. We have already set up the criteria of the selection.
Yes.
So for World Cross Country Championships, the first four across the line in every category will definitely be in the team. Then we leave the two places on the wild card. Wild card means the panel of selectors will have to sit down and see who should fit in the two positions left in every category. So, and for the African Championships, we are looking forward to anybody who will be between number 5 and number 20 should be able to be in the team.
Okay.
But what I want to clarify is, if the panel of selectors again say that number 1, number 5 and 6 merit to go to World Cross Country Championships, then we shall start our selection for African Championships between number 7 and number 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it's very clear, and athletes have really bought it, and they're happy about that.
What happens to those who are not able to come back home to train? Do they still stand a chance of being shortlisted for these events?
We always say people must come for trials, because we have so many athletes,
and this is a hot issue.
There's no athlete we should take it for granted that I'm good, let's be selected. No, you must come back, and you must have also a very good reason why you think you did not participate in the trials, and also you want to be included in the team. You have to convince, which in this particular case has never happened, and our athletes are really they are very careful about that.
Is this where the wild card would now come in, where you say, look, there's a particular athlete who was not able to come back and join us for a very valid reason?
That's why I'm saying, if there's a very good reason, and that reason convinces the panel of selectors, then that can be done.
Okay.
It will depend on what the panel of selectors will go by.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, touching on another hot topic is the issue of cheating, quote unquote, in these selections. You know, of course, the selection determines who goes and who stays. And for many athletes, their careers begin when they are selected. last year, I had the opportunity of attending a couple of marathons, and in one of them I noticed towards the end there was a lot of commotion in regards to who was actually number 5 and who was number 6 and who was number 7. How will you tackle that to ensure that those you select, it can be proven that they are the ones who make it?
Let me correct you. You know, running marathon is totally different with running a cross country. A marathon is run on a hard surface and on the road, whereas the cross country is run on a circuit and on the grass.
Okay.
So you see, in the cross country, there's nobody who can cheat, because because you go around the loop, and it is a 2-kilometer loop that you must cover every time. People will be seen going through the loop, so it's very difficult for somebody. You either fall out or you finish the race. So you cannot cheat in a cross country.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do know, of course, that cases of cheating have been spoken of before.
Maybe if you are talking of a marathon and it is being run elsewhere,
not here,
not in Nairobi. But because you see, we have people who actually will check you up at every 5 kilometers. They'll be checking, you are wearing number 10. Number 10 has passed here. It takes number 10 past the 5 kilo, then 10, until you finish the 42, if it is a marathon running. And therefore it's very difficult to check. And at the same time these days, we also use people like you, like the TV camera people, to follow up these people. So sometimes it's very difficult. And I agree with you, there are areas that athletes can cheat, they can cross if they are not properly supervised or monitored.
Okay, all right. Looking at these two big events, of course, the Africa Cross Country Championships in South Africa and the World Cross Country Championships in Spain, we're looking at March 6th and March 20th. Now, for me in my head, I'm thinking two big events running within almost 3 weeks of each other. How is that expected to affect our athletes? Have we looked into that?
It will not, and that's why we have come out with the selection of 2 different teams. It would have only affected our athletes if we said, okay, fine, this team we have selected for Spain, is the team also going to for Africa? Then that one, yes, would have affected. But now these are 2 different teams altogether. So the one selected for Africa will just concentrate for African Championships.
Okay.
The one selected for the World Cross Country will just concentrate for and prepare for the World Cross Country Champion. So there is no burden.
Just to pick up on that, is there a feeling that the South Africa event is not as glamorous as the Spain one? I read some media reports last week that one is a consolation and the other is the main prize. Do you want to dispute that?
No, not really. We are taking both events very seriously.
Okay.
And any athlete that will be selected. One thing you should know, that for World Cross Country Championships, we are only taking 24.
Okay.
All right, 6 in every category. So you can see it's very minimal. So we must take the best.
Okay.
Then would have liked to take more, but that's the rule says you can only take 6 because 4 are going to score. You take 6, 4 to score in every category. In this case, and because also of funding, we decided to take only 4 in every category for the African Championships. The scoring athletes only. Though it's a bit tricky, that funding dictates that we cannot. If you had enough money, we would have taken 6 also for African Cross Country Championships. Right. But let me tell you, if you select anybody between number 5 and number 20, that's a top class athlete. By all standards, and that will go to South Africa, win a medal for this country.
Why is the South Africa event being called an inaugural event? Is this the first one?
No, they have already changed the, the cross country. The running of cross country has already been changed by the IF, so it's going to be biannual. So going into that and considering all that, by the year that we are not going to have, like for example, 2012, we are not going to have World Cross Country Championships.
Under this new system.
So that year that we don't have the World Cross Country Championships, it is the continental bodies should be holding their own continental cross country championships. Africa being a continental body, we have just started this one this year instead of next, so that we see how it goes. That's why they are calling an inaugural.
So it's inaugural in that it's under new system.
Yes, under new system.
In that it's happened.
But
before.
Actually, 1985 we had one in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes back. Yeah.
All right. Actually,